אז אנחנו ברצלונה נגד אתלטיקו מדריד, בינתיים 2-1 לברצלונה. עשו מהפך מעולה על אתלטיקו. ברצלונה שני גולים, מסי שם את הראשון ושוארז את השני אחרי שהובילו עליהם 1-0. נוריד את הפרשנות בשביל שיהיה יותר טוב.
Floated in, it's nodded away by Luis Suarez, who was back doing defensive duties. Barca's front three certainly not afraid to get back and help out the team. Luis Enrique, not quite total football, but certainly impressive. And now on that far side, Saul looks to send it into the centre. Godin, who'd stayed up. Was the closest to that as Rakitic nodded it clear, and Piqué gets it down for Alves to clear. Vragos, despite predictions at least of a damage limitation exercise, certainly don't seem to be on the cards as Juanfran gets the cross in this time. It's too deep for Carrasco. Koke will pick it up, bring it under control, the Croatian sport.
That's where they got to be vigilant, Atletico Madrid, isn't it? Where they like to push the numbers up, even though they're a man down. We've seen them in the second half. They're not shy in trying to create some attempts on goal, but they've got to be careful because this Barcelona attack, we saw it in the first half with Luis Suarez, can get in behind the defense and at a moment's notice have a go at goal.
Indeed, that goal, a brief spell of pressure from Atletico, and it looked like the Blaugrana had lots of defending to do. And while Atletico are enjoying
and certainly they've shown their prowess in the air over the last few years.
And when they don't show their physical side or use their physical side, Atletico can be so effective, as Juanfran there showing his years of experience, just edging past Iniesta and quite clearly fouled, and Koke now got the first goal, the opening goal of the game. Now a chance to try and get his name on the assists sheet, lifting this into the area. Atletico's best chances, they can afford to get men forward from set pieces. Quick dummy run from Koke allows everyone to start running, and then it's floated in, but Piqué, perhaps the tallest player on the field, wins that. Koke will have a second go, and this time it's played in the centre, and Sergio Busquets gets it out only as far as Carrasco. He plays it outside to Saul. Carrasco now looking to run, goes past Rakitic, trying to roll it back for Griezmann. It comes all the way back out. Koke perhaps if he had a bit more time on the ball, closed down well by Messi, because I think he may well have thought about a shot from that distance. And it's played onto the wrong side, and Saul wasn't able to get his footing right and drifts away. But Atletico pressing, I think the discussions there on the Barca bench or on the Barca touchline will certainly be about what changes have been made on Thuy there, talking to Luis Enrique.
Well, Barcelona just needs to get back to what they do best, which is possessing the ball, knocking it around a few times. They haven't really had the chance to do that here in this second half, and you know, when a team goes down to 10 men, it can sometimes shore them up defensively, and we've seen that in this second half. The Atletico has done very well in taking the ball over from Barcelona and not making them too comfortable in possession.
And the two banks of four, the back four and the midfield four, still very much in place for Atletico. The only difference now is that when Piqué and Mascherano have it, they only have Griezmann pressing them, as opposed to having the two forwards there before. So really Atletico not missing the man as much as perhaps I thought they would in this second period, but still plenty of football to be played, around 26 minutes left to play of normal time, plus what the referee Alberto Undiano Mayenko chooses to add on.
And we talked about it in the first half. I mean, these two teams are coming off two very tumultuous weeks, full of matches, full of Copa del Rey and La Liga. So you got to think the more chasing that Atletico does, the more winded they're going to get, the more heavy those legs are going to get as well.
Suarez was onside once again, and that, is he going to get a free kick for that? It certainly seemed to go in hard. Indeed, a booking there for Jimenez. I think he thinks he played the ball first. And he's off! The second yellow card for Diego Godin. Said it was Jimenez, but it's Godin. And they're reduced to 9 players here in Camp Nou. And if Atletico didn't have it hard enough already, they certainly have it even more difficult now.
Well, 2 red cards from 2 mindless challenges. They really, what is the need for this challenge to come in right here from Godin? He's wearing the captain's band, and Luis Suarez is drifting out towards the touchline. He's not even from Godin.
Patrons, and yeah, Simeone must wonder what's going on. His captain now having been red carded as well. 2-1. Atletico with 10 men look like they might have a chance of causing a big surprise and getting an equaliser, but
כמו שאתה רואים, כרטיס אדום. רואים איזה הצלה ענקית של בראבו. הצלה ענקית. בראבו פשוט הוציא כאן גול בטוח. אז גודין מקבל את הצהוב השני. כרטיס אדום שני לאתלטיקו במשחק. לאתלטיקו יש 2 אדומים.
German Burgos, the former Atletico keeper.
Rakitic נכנס ואנחנו נמשיך לפגש.
Godin on the back, and it's Rakitic who will indeed be replaced by turns 29 today. Barca paid 34 million euros for his services in the summer, and he decided that the attraction of playing behind Messi, Neymar and Suarez was just too much to resist, even though he knew he wasn't going to have any competitive football between August and January. But he's in the side now.
Well, he's been worth the wait, hasn't it? It's been, and who's going to be sacrificed but Griezmann after Godin goes off, and just trying to make up for those defensive holes that have been left vacant by the red cards. And Antoine Griezmann, who had a quiet game up until his acrobatic attempt on goal.
It will be Stefan Savic who comes on in his place.
So now it's going to be left all up to Carrasco up top. But they're a bit more focused on the defensive side right now, as Barcelona, with an attacking chance, with an opportunity to put one in. It's Messi out there.
Messi will take this left-footed, only Carrasco in the wall. I doubt Messi will indeed go directly for goal. Messi lifts it into there, does go for goal, and it's punched over by Jan Oblak. I think he bought himself a few yards there too, Messi. The ball was, the foul in fact was a bit nearer that touchline, but he managed to creep it forward or creep it away from the touchline and does indeed go for goal. But despite Oblak already having conceded twice, it would take something to beat the Slovenian international from there. Dani Alves, well, he thought about lining one up, instead he finds his fellow Brazilian Neymar. Looks like he's switched sides for the moment, Neymar out on that right flank, and Suarez now on the left with Messi in the middle as Iniesta looks for options and goes back inside to Alves. And Neymar, Arda Turan drifts outside and tries to draw players away, but instead Barca get the ball back in, and Alves floats it in just above Messi and headed away by Savic, who's taken up Godin's place in the centre of that midfield. And Arda just too high for the Barcelona number 7, a wry smile on his face.
But when you go up against Barcelona, really one of the most important positions for you defensively is those outside backs, the left and right back, because you've got Jordi Alba, Dani Alves, you saw right there, Arda Turan, making those runs in behind those outside backs, and you've got to be vigilant. Felipe Luis was sent off, so now it's Jesus Gomez who's come on, and he's got to be the one who's vigilant about those runs in behind, because they open up so much space and they really get the defenders moving.
And just see the two club presidents, Enrique Cerezo on the right, who said this week that Lionel Messi is the best player of all time. Maybe.
I think it'll be a little while before you hear the other presidents of the capital city saying that, but you know what? You can't give too many debates with that statement. It's really, he's put in the CV, look at his CV, and there's only one thing missing, and it's that World Cup. But other than that, Messi, you gotta say, is the greatest, if not one of them.
Indeed he is, and the stories came out this week. Real Madrid tried to sign Lionel Messi 3 times as a youngster, but Barca knew what they had, and have opted to keep him on several occasions. As Iniesta gets it out wide, Neymar back in his more familiar left wing role. Jordi Alba helping out and looking to maintain possession, nudged by Koke, but in the pass Carrasco was about to set off on a run before Iniesta got a foot in. 2 flash there from Alba, almost gave possession away. There's Rowan and Shroff there. Just moments ago, Jan Black just taking a little longer than normal to take the goal kick and drew a few whistles from the crowd. So let's go with 9 players now on the field. Will not be looking to take any of their set pieces or throw-ins too quickly. Don't want to concede too many more, as goal difference may well play a major part at the end of the season.
Well, the longer this goes 2-1 into the match, the more beneficial it's going to be for Atletico Madrid. I mean, they can't push up too many numbers, but if it's late on in the match, they can try to maybe
נתקע, אנחנו בטוחים שזה יחזור עכשיו.
Sneak a few players up forward.
כן, אנחנו לא בטוחים. לא יודע, משהו עוצר את ה...
And see if they can get something here.
Well, they've calmed down. They seem to forget their coach's words. I doubt he would have sent them out to carry on as they did in the first half when they committed quite a few fouls and picked up cards.
Well, Godin's got to know he's on a yellow card right there, doesn't he?
Up, but we weren't expecting him to go in quite so forcefully, having got the booking in the first place.
And you can just see there's no passing lanes, there's nothing provided for Atletico Madrid. Once they get into the attacking third, Barcelona shores things up, they get into their defensive position, and they just don't allow Atletico Madrid any space to pass the ball around.
They're just thinking about Godin. He's an experienced international player and captain of Atletico, so a highly unusual thing, a highly unusual tackle to make, given the experience that he does have. But Arda now finds Messi. Messi looks up and sees 7 players in front of him. Iniesta thought about going for goal himself, I think, but Suarez made the diagonal run, just overhit there by the player that scored the winning goal in the World Cup final in 2010, and draws rounds of applause from support around.
It was a gorgeous, left it a little too heavy for Luis Suarez to chase onto, but he had the Atletico players tricked into thinking he was going to have a shot on goal, but just laid it off into the path of Suarez, and Suarez was just a bit behind it. But gorgeous stuff there from Iniesta, who's such a genius in the middle of the park.
Iniesta on the ball once more,
and this could be more problems for...
It's Augusto Fernandez who's down. We just saw the Atletico substitutes warming up with Thomas Partey and Jackson Martinez amongst them, so an attacking midfielder and a striker, depending on what Diego Simeone is doing next. But if Augusto indeed is knocked, it will be Thomas Partey who is going to come on, the youngster who's made such an impression. There was talk of him going out on loan in this transfer window, but Simeone instead decided to keep him on his books. And may well come into the action now in place of the recently signed Augusto Fernandez. He looks to be in some pain, and the club doctor and physio are on. So a change of foot. Thomas Partey does have a habit of coming on and getting goals. It wasn't even with contact with Arda Turan. It looked like he slipped on the turf and just overextended his leg, so that could well be bad news. Whether it be a hamstring strain or something's pulled, but you can see Agosto certainly in some pain.
Yeah, he comes down quite awkwardly on the replay. You could see it with that left leg. Just got stuck in underneath him, didn't it? And, well, a considerable amount of pain there, as you see. And that's the look.
Professional players in some distress, and on that occasion the Barca players certainly concerned about Augusto Fernandez. So the change is Thomas Partey ready to come on in his stead, and that will be the third and final change for Atletico in this game. Just see Luis Enrique there in his suit and tie with a rather nifty waistcoat underneath as well, deciding not to go for the tracksuit look this afternoon. And that's about they've got the head brace is actually required for an injury down the back of one's leg, but nevertheless all precautions. Perhaps that's because the person driving hasn't passed his test yet. We'll see.
It's been a match where Diego Simeone hasn't had much of a choice of his substitutions, has it? And this is going to force him into making another one.
Mascherano there.
Great stuff there from Mascherano.
Just saying good luck to his fellow Argentina international. Obviously good friends on and off the field, a lot of these players. Thomas Partey is indeed on, and he plays the ball back for Barca to continue in these final 14 minutes plus what the referee adds on. See if Atletico have got something in the tank with 9 players. It'd certainly be a sensation if they could take anything from this game, or whether they fall foul of Barca's front three once again, with Neymar the only one yet to get his name on the score sheet. I'm sure he'll be keen to add his 17th league goal of the season.
And I'm just telling you, Lucas, as long as this game stays 2-1, Atletico think they've got a chance. Barcelona will be looking for that one little bit of insurance goal, and well, they've got the quality to do it, but Atletico in the second half have been resilient in defense.
They certainly have. They opened, I thought they'd sit back, as I said, and they didn't. They came out and attacked, and then one moment of madness from their captain has made the task even harder. And one man you thought Atletico could rely on to call for calm and to cool down a bit was the one who got the hottest head of all. But there again, bad. Barca have given away possession on quite a few occasions this afternoon. Arda now taking on Jesus Gamath. He's closed down by Koke. Does superbly well to find Messi. Messi closed down by Partey. Just held up slightly, and now Iniesta looks up for options. Jordi Alba on this left flank into the feet of Neymar. Partey closing him down, and let's go have everyone back behind the ball. So Barca in familiar pose at home, and Arda Turan just past the far post. He'd love to have scored against the club he left in the summer. I doubt he'd have celebrated, but that would have put the 3 points beyond doubt. But the Turkish international swung it far post.
An early Christmas, doesn't he, right there, as it was Juan Gamez who drifted.